G'day guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Bird. I'm a PJ professional based here at the SKILLEST Golf Club in southeast Queensland, Australia. First of all, let me apologise for the sunglasses. I don't often wear them, but we've got such a bright sunny day out here today. And with the sunlight the way it is, I'm just going to try and protect the eyes a little bit. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a really simple but quite a common mistake that we see players make and an area of the game that lots of players would like to improve. We're going to be talking about getting across the line with the driver at the top of the backswing. Okay, so getting across the line at the top of the backswing. Look, it isn't a massive deal breaker. It's not an area that's going to cause you to hit your driver poorly, provided you make the appropriate matchup. We see lots of good players get across the line. However, for you guys watching this, you're probably not making the correct matchup. So let's start there. What we'll find is that a player swings to the top and they get the club across the line looking a little bit like this. The key thing we're going to look at, this wrist angle here. The correct matchup in order to enable yourself to swing across the line but still hit your driver well is to reorientate the wrists from a cupped motion to a flexed motion in the way down. Now for skilled players, tour players, this often is the case of what they do, but for the vast majority of players, you and I included, we're not going to move our wrists in such a way, and therefore we don't make the appropriate matchup to enable ourselves to have the club going across the line. So as a result of the club being across the line, what do we tend to see? Well, the first thing we tend to see with most players, and the common mistake number one, would be that the shaft pitch is steepening on the downswing. So we get the wrist cupping, the club gets across the line, and the player will steepen the shaft pitch. With the driver, they're then forced to stand up out of the way, often leading to an open club face and a high slice. If you're able to avoid steepening of the shaft pitch, common fault number two we see is the player gets to the top of the backswing, they're across the line, and they simply rotate their shoulders. And they rotate hard left, the club throws out across the line, then up pulling across, pulling their arms up into a chicken wing fashion, and again we get that high cutting slice shot with the driver. And then we get the third most common mistake, which is the players get across the line at the top, and as they work into the downswing here, as they approach impact, they flip their wrists. And this occurs because the player's trying to reorientate and re-square that club face. They kind of flip the wrist into this direction, and again, we end up just hitting a high, weak driver. So with those faults in mind, how do we correct the initial movement of getting the club across the line? It's very simple. One of the biggest reasons, and this is the reason why we see the player get the club across the line at the top, is excessive rotation of the body. Now we know that when we get driver in our hand, we want to create big and good shoulder turns. We often see players over rotate in the backswing, gets the club behind the body, therefore across the line at the top. So we need to reduce the excessive rotation. It's really, really easy to do. You just need to grab yourself an alignment stick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our alignment stick here. I'm going to set myself up into my driver setup position. I'm going to take the alignment stick here. I'm simply going to place it at an angle which is pointing at my golf ball here and is sitting just off of my right heel, the inside of my right foot. The reason why we're going to do that, when we get into our setup position, and I'm going to make my rotation here, I'm going to match up my shaft with the alignment stick on the ground. I'm then going to take the club, raise my arms to the top, and as you can see here, I'm going to reduce how much rotation I make, but I'm still going to make the appropriate amount of rotation, reducing excessive movement, give myself a visual in which to work within. We can leave this on the ground when we're at the driving range, and we can be working to create a practice drill where we set ourselves up and we're just going to simply try to match up my shoulder line here to the alignment stick that's on the ground. If I do this, as you can see, and you'll see in a moment from down the line, it's almost all but impossible to have that club working across the line. So as you can see here, we've got our alignment stick on the ground. Again, positioned golf ball just on the inside of my right heel here, get in my setup position. And I'm just going to match the shoulder turn to the alignment stick on the ground. That's where my shoulders should stop rotating at this point in time. From here, I'm just simply going to raise my arms up, and you can see here, it's very, very difficult to get the club across the line. My wrists are already setting into a better position because I'm reducing that excessive rotation in the backswing. Now, again guys, there are plenty of reasons as to why the club will get across the line at the top. I'm going to do a whole series of videos upon that, but That's the most common one I tend to see from players that come to me for lessons. Excessive rotation of the left shoulder, getting the club further behind, around the body too much, and then across the line at top with the wrists cupping into a bad position. So training, really, really important part to improving. We've got to train correctly. So guys, this little training drill I've got you doing here, I'll be doing this at every single practice session that you have. I'll be incorporating it as part of my iron swing movement, because the iron swing will then lead on to improved driver swing. I'll be working on my driver with this quite regular, at least minimum once a week. Ideally, we want to try to get ourselves, if we can, 2 training sessions a week where we're working on this motion. If you're able to train twice a week, this will take somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks to correct. That is so important to understand. We are not going to see an immediate correction overnight, and anyone who thinks that they will, guys, my videos are not for you. Improvement takes time, 6 to 8 weeks in this instance. Guys, as always, I appreciate taking the time to watch today's video. I really do hope that you found it helpful, and I hope that what I've discussed today will help you with your driving going forward. As always, don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you'd like to have a bit of a chat, and if you have any questions about what I've discussed in today's video. If you know someone that needs some help, please share it with them. And guys, don't forget, I have my own online academy at my website, DannyBirdGolf.com. There you're going to find courses specifically designed to help you improve all aspects of your game. We are adding courses every single month. Guys, until next time, happy golfing.